Super smiles and great greetings here in the infinitely new year. I'm going to try and rehash this super paradigm illuminating expose. Naturally, we're all that smart, and we're all the same spirit. However, it's about how we're being particularly aligned to see it. However, it's about how we are being particularly aligned to be revealed to it. And for it, the very essence of repealing suffering by sacrificing, the allness of relief is revealed to us in the constancy of the day-to-day. This essence is that we're all seeing the same and learning the same thing, but only so gradually, progressively, because we all see it differently. And we're all sort of charged in that way to continue charging forth and always seeing the same thing, the utter all dimensionality and all the dimensions very differently. So the crux of this is that we're learning what we already know. So we have to live it, we have to believe it, we have to express it. So in change, we shouldn't hope to change. In slowing, we shouldn't hope to slow. And in progressing, we shouldn't hope to impede. And in sacrificing, we shouldn't hope to suffer. Now we live in a paradox of alignment, where we're aligning to sacrifice for the sake of suffering. This is our greatest honor, largely so that eventually all sacrifice will be without suffering. That sacrifice, it has been misconstrued that sacrifice is suffering, whereas it is our greatest honor. And so even if there's only a finite mastery of invention of this intention of sacrifice to repeal and appeal to all suffering, to be further mastered for all, the corrupt hold it as something not to do, because the corrupt are bound to everyone sacrificing for them. But truly, it's the greatest suffering that they're the ones not sacrificing all the suffering of the world, the true pain of unnecessary suffering due to inequality, from the injustice of their misapprehension, that the greatest sacrifice is on their part to, instead of instigating that all suffering stops, yielding to, or not yielding to their own whims, so as to cause suffering to be prolongated. So the way that we untie the knot of suffering is that we're not here to save the world, we're here to save all worlds. If you can't say it now, when can you save it? So there's no point in allowing the corrupt, I feel like Bane from Batman or something, the corrupt, to continue to suffer in their misunderstanding that having the world suffer because they misunderstand that sacrifice is the greatest thing possible to suffer. If they only understood that sacrifice was the greatest thing possible to suffer, and we could all be instigated and inspired and encouraged to repeal the suffering of the world. Anyway, that's about the essence of it. I'll keep mulling it over throughout the day, this whole they're suffering because we're suffering, and if we could only sacrifice, then sacrifice would be no more, and we could all continuously be free of living in a world of pure bliss, joy, and enjoyment, enkindlement, to be, a raving bunch of insects that have nothing but the air around them, yet we have all this resistance and everything, keeping us, muddling with crunching numbers. Well, we're not number crunchers, we're strikers, we're great beings of action, we're dreamers, we're great artists, we're dancers, elicitors, illuminators. We're not bees around air, bees on flowers, or flies buzzing through the air. We're a great hive mind of insects, but we're not number crunchers. As I walk through the air here, the wind is the only number that I crunch, and as I think of great athletics and great music and great art, that is a more true destiny than bringing fresh water and colonizing the world, with stadiums and with harmony-inducing permacultures and biosystems and the biochemical, mechanical, synthetic world of modernity. There's so much to do, and there's so much to be done. It's for us to do, and it's only for us to do it. It's not for us to not do it and live in the shadow of the illumination that we could be. It's to get out there and to wake up from our dreams every morning and to say super smiles, and to continue wishing everybody the greatest of possible days in this, the infinitely new year. Because like I said, we're all that smart, and we're all the same spirit, and however we're particularly aligned to see it, we're all learning what we already know. So I'm going to continue to hash it out and rehash it out because I love you all very much, but the sad truth of it all is that only as much as I love myself, so those corrupt people who aren't inspiring us to love are simply suffering from a lack of self-love that they don't know, they can't envision from whatever angle they're construed to see it at. They haven't been illuminated yet to see just how good it could be, and it could always be. And literally, these boundaries that we have now are everything to the boundless, and as soon as we grapple with these boundaries, we live in abundance forever. That as soon as we seize the natural world, there's nothing that can seize it back from us. The natural world is simply our pearl forever, unless we treat it like ashes, So, heaven or hell is essentially the question, and hell evermore until heaven forever is the paradigm. So, I love you all very much. Hell forevermore, and all the bliss of learning and illumination until heaven everlasting, literally lasting forever and ever and ever and ever. Anyway, I love you all very much.